Yo, what's going on, guys? Mic check, GZTV. I'm still a little bit sleepy because I didn't get the best night's rest. I didn't stream last night, but somehow I just didn't fall asleep until later on in the night. But we have two review videos to do for you guys here early in the morning. And it's not early, it's like 11. What am I talking about? But we have this video and we have the Walking Dead video. Of course, we watched Walking Dead yesterday. I have to watch Outer Banks today. That's the only thing I'm watching today. We're done with movies for the week. But we have Kick-Ass, another 2010 movie, funny enough. That's a coincidence. I didn't do that on purpose. You know, The Expendables and Kick-Ass coincidentally came out in the same year. These are just movies I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I'm pretty sure I've seen Kick-Ass before, but it probably has been like 10 years since I've seen that movie. So, I mean, yeah, let's just get straight into it. Dave Lazuski is an ordinary teenager who lives in Staten Island, New York. He's a nerdy kid. I mean, he's not necessarily like a nerdy kid. He's just like an average kid. He just kind of exists. He's just kind of there. Inspired by comic books, Dave plans to become a real-life superhero, which is pretty funny. You know what I mean? Like it's a funny concept. He purchases and modifies a scuba diving suit and arms himself with batons, which again is very funny. It's kind of like a satirical film. It's almost like The Boys, but except like I don't know. It's kind of like The Boys. You know, it makes fun of superheroes in a way. During his first outing, he gets stabbed and hit by a car. Unlucky, I guess. After recovering, he gains a capacity to endure pain and enhanced durability due to having some bones replaced with metal. And it's kind of ironic because his name's Kick-Ass, but like he's known for getting his ass kicked. Like that's kind of like his superpower, being able to just get the shit beat out of him and be fine. Like, yeah, so it's kind of ironic. It's kind of like funny. I mean, I'm pretty sure the show creators or the movie creators did this on purpose. Yeah, in his absence from school, a rumor spread that he is gay. So this is another kind of. I mean, being gay is not funny, but like the fact that he's not gay and people are spreading rumors that he's gay, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's like a funny storyline that adds to the rest of the movie. As a result, his longtime crush, Katie Duma, I think, immediately attempts to become his friend. She's always wanted to have a GBFF, you know what I mean? I guess. That's what a lot of girls yearn for, apparently. And maybe this movie is trying to make fun of that concept. Unhappy with the misunderstanding, Dave nevertheless appreciates the opportunity to get closer to Katie, and he's going to use this to possibly try to win her over, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's faking that he's gay. There's just a rumor that spread that he is gay. It's not really his fault, you know. When the movie ends and you really think about it, it's like it really wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? Dave returns to crime fighting and gains notoriety after saving a man from a gang attack. He has his first kind of successful heroic adventure, if you will, and yeah, I mean, he saved someone. Calling himself Kick-Ass, this is when his name really starts to gain traction. He sets up a MySpace account where he can be contacted for help. Kind of hilarious for the time because MySpace is non-existent now, so it's kind of cool to see what cultural things were relevant in 2010. Responding to a request from Katie, he confronts a drug dealer, Rasul, who has been harassing her, which that's extremely random. When I heard that there was just like this drug dealer, like this kind of like thuggish person, I guess. So like they live in a bad part of town. They do all sorts of crazy shit. They're like smoking weed. They have a girl over. A pimp, I guess you could call him. Like, it's kind of random that he would be coming after a girl like Katie. At Rasul's place, Kick-Ass is quickly overwhelmed by Rasul's thugs. Before they can kill him, two costume vigilantes hit girl, and her father, Big Daddy, which is fucking hilarious, played by Nicolas Cage. This is a really good cast. And obviously you have Hit Girl being played by a very young Chloe Grace Moretz, which is really cool, honestly, to see an actor of her age excel at it being a superhero. I mean, her future was looking very bright after this movie. People probably knew that she could be something in the acting industry, in the movie industry, film industry, I guess you could call it. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera so my face is a little bit more in frame. Yeah. They destroy these people. After coming home, and they were showing these people as like a father-daughter relationship, not an ordinary father-daughter relationship, of course. Like the dad was teaching her about guns and stuff. She lost her mother, that sort of thing. After coming home, Dave realizes he is in over his head and plans to give up crime fighting. Like, he pretty much got humiliated. Like, those people saved his life. However, Hit Girl and Big Daddy pay him a visit and encourage him. Like, no, you should join our group. It's so funny. Big Daddy? Like, are you joking? Man. Big Daddy's real identity is Damon McReady, formerly an honest cop. So we kind of learn about his origin story. Framed by mafia boss Frank D'Amico, he was jailed for drug trafficking. His wife committed suicide, leaving behind his daughter Mindy. She couldn't take it, like, not having her husband around. Against the protest of his former partner Marcus Williams, Damon trains himself and Mindy as preparation for getting revenge on Frank, and that's why they become superheroes. And it turns out that the thugs were actually D'Amico's men. They have been undermining Frank's operations by raiding his warehouses, robbing his money, and destroying his drugs, and beating the shit out of his men. Of course. Frank believes Kick-Ass is responsible for the attacks and targets him, though he mistakenly kills a party entertainer who is dressed like Kick-Ass. It's funny, man. Kick-Ass gained so much traction in the city. People are walking around with fucking scuba dive suits. It's literally just a scuba diving suit. It's kind of funny. And he thinks that that's Kick-Ass, and he kills him. Shit. Frank's son Chris suggests a different approach and poses himself as a new vigilante named Red Mist, and actually befriends Kick-Ass. Like, in the process, he's supposed to be like Kick-Ass's enemy, but he actually likes Kick-Ass and he admires what he's doing. Chris is kind of an introverted person. He just follows his dad around. He doesn't have a lot of fun, it doesn't seem like, and meeting Kick-Ass changed his approaches on things, and we kind of learned a little bit about Chris before, Kick-Ass existed in this movie. Chris plans to lure Kick-Ass into Frank's lumber house and unmask him, so it's kind of a trick. However, they find the warehouse on fire and Frank's men dead. They didn't expect this, Red Mist retrieves a hidden camera he earlier placed in the warehouse, and he sees recorded footage of Big Daddy killing the men and burning the warehouse, and they realize that Kick-Ass is innocent. And this whole time, pretty much, Kick-Ass has no desire to go after D'Amico. He just happened to have an operation that involved one of D'Amico's men, and yeah, that's what happened. Red Mist and Kick-Ass part ways. Frank watches the footage and learns of Big Daddy. Like, he realizes this is the dude that has been causing problems all these years. Following the event, Dave decides to quit being Kick-Ass, which is probably a good idea. He reveals his identity to Katie and clears up the misunderstanding about him being gay. He literally puts it all out there. He's done being a superhero, and he wanted to reveal to her that I am a superhero. I'm Kick-Ass, She forgives him and becomes his girlfriend. It gets very confusing at first for these two, but then she's like, yeah, she loves him, like, deep down. She literally made comments like, I wish you weren't gay and stuff like that. However, Red Mist contacts him again and tricks him into revealing Big Daddy and Hit Girl's location. He tells them he has them in like a group or something. They tell him they're in like a safe house. At one of Big Daddy's safe houses, Red Mist shoots Hit Girl out of a window, and Frank's men capture Big Daddy and Kick-Ass. Again, why are they capturing Kick-Ass? I'm not really sure. Frank intends to have his thugs torture and execute his captives in a live internet broadcast. While Kick-Ass and Big Daddy are being beaten by Frank's gangsters, Hit Girl, having survived the shooting, storms the hideout and kills all of the gangsters. Man, Chloe Grace Moretz, like the way she gets the choreography down in this movie, it is just downright impressive. I don't know how she did it. During the fight, one thug sets Big Daddy on fire. Big Daddy and Mindy say a tearful farewell before he dies of his burns, which is very sad. Nicolas Cage, of course. Um, Kick-Ass and Hit Girl resolve to defeat Frank D'Amico once and for all. Mindy wants to get revenge for her parents. Hit Girl infiltrates Frank's headquarters and kills numerous guards and henchmen before running out of bullets. When Hit Girl is cornered in like the headquarters, this is so badass. I mean, Hit Girl scenes are like my favorite scenes in the entire movie. When Hit Girl is cornered by the thugs, Kick-Ass arrives on a jetpack fitted with miniguns and kills the remaining thugs. It was like the $300,000 gun, like the Gatling guns and stuff that they ordered earlier on, like in the show in the movie. Kick-Ass and Hit Girl then take on Frank and Red Mist. It's like the boss battle of sorts. Kick-Ass fights Red Mist, which results in them knocking each other out, which is kind of weird because, again, Kick-Ass did nothing wrong. I guess he's helping the cause now. Frank overpowers an exhausted Hit Girl. I mean, the knocking each other out is a classic fighting trope. I think that's hilarious how the movie included that. Before he can kill her, Kick-Ass regains consciousness and blasts Frank out of the window with a bazooka, killing him, which is funny because one of the security and one of the goons picked up the bazooka from Mindy's house, and if he wouldn't have done that, Frank wouldn't have died. It's kind of funny how these full circle moments in movies happen. Red Mist then regains consciousness, grabs his father's samurai sword, and pursues Kick-Ass in order to continue their fight, just in time to see Kick-Ass and Hit Girl fly away on the jetpack. So, yeah, Dave and Mindy retire from crime fighting. They've fulfilled their goals as superheroes. They can now live normal lives. Marcus becomes Mindy's guardian, and she enrolls at Dave's school. Meanwhile, Chris sits in his father's office, dressed in an upgraded suit, preparing to seek his revenge on Kick-Ass for killing his father, which definitely leads us into a sequel. And again, like I said with the Expendables movie, I'm not planning on watching sequels anytime soon. I need to watch all the original films I wanted to watch first. Facing the camera, he says, "As a great man once said, wait till you get a load of me," before firing a gun into the screen. I kind of rhymed, but that's a classic way to end a movie. This movie's damn good. It's not supposed to be a good movie. It's just good at what it does. You know what I mean? 76%, 268 reviews, 7.1 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, which for a satirical movie, that's really good. Not for the fan of heart, Kick-Ass takes the comic adaptation genre to new levels of visual style, bloody violence, and gleeful profanity, which again, at the time in 2010, I guess people digitalized a lot of the blood, like all the gunshots and stuff. They couldn't find a way to put that through physical effects. I mean, you literally just put a packet of red juice into the person and you can literally just throw something at them and it'll break it. You know what I mean? 6.6 out of 10 on Metacritic. 38 major reviewers reviewed it on that site. Pretty favorable movie for them. Cinema score, we got a B. We gave it a B. That's pretty solidly ranked for a comedy film, pretty much. A lot of people. This was a pretty covered movie. 5 out of 5 by Peter Bradshaw, The Guardian. It's an explosion in a bad taste factory that is thoroughly outrageous, jaw-droppingly violent, and very funny riff on the quasi-porn world of comic books, especially that there is absolutely no quasi about it. I might get demonetized for saying Kick-Ass in the title and saying porn in this video, but I'm not making money from YouTube anyway, so I'm fine about it. I'm fine with it. This movie is relentlessly violent. The foulest-mouthed child ever to appear on screen, who makes Louis Mal's Zazie sound like a set, and one extremely knowing in its appeal to connoisseurs of comic strips and video games. Yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz graces the screen and says some crazy shit. Man. The film kicks the C word into the mainstream, has inadvertently dispatched our last big Expletive. Was this like the first major movie to say that word? I guess it was. I don't know. 5 out of 5 on Empire, a ridiculously entertaining, perfectly paced, ultra-violent cinematic rush that kicks the places other movies struggle to reach. The film's violence is clearly fantastical and cartoonish and not to be taken seriously. You know, its audacity, humor, performances of the cast were all great. The production succeeds as a violent fantasy about our perilous and fretful times, where regular citizens feel compelled to take action against the social order rotting from within. That is kind of like the concept of the film. Moritz was terrific. Even as she wields outlandish weaponry, she comes off as absolutely adorable. Like this little girl, like, you know what I mean? It is kind of cute, you know? Like, some of the shit she says, it's hilarious, man. Fast, periodically spit funny, and often grotesquely violent, the film at once embraces and satirizes contemporary action film cliches with Tarantino-esque self-regard. They got a B+ on Entertainment Weekly. Personally, if the film would have ended up a bit less of an over-the-top action, right, it would have been a little better. They did kind of go over the top with the action. That might have been a little weakness. I mean, you could say this film's highly offensive, you know, morally reprehensible. Roger Ebert gave this film a 1 out of 4. The coarse language, the violence, you know, the scene in which Hit Girl is nearly killed by D'Amico, it's not really appropriate, I guess. People don't like that, you know, a little girl getting her ass kicked. Like, when kids in the age range of this movie's home video audience are shooting one another every day in America, that kind of stops being funny. You know, obviously the performances of Cage, though, Johnson and Moritz were good. Wow. I mean, apparently people think the movie sucks because it's offensive. That's just being soft. 1 out of 5 in Daily Telegraph. Matthew Vaughn Kick-Ass is hollow, glazed, and not quite there. You know, people didn't like the satire and themes. They thought it was kind of weak. Never as shocking as it thinks it is, as funny as it should be, or as engaging in cultural critique as it should be. Kick-Ass is half-assed. Oh, wow. Good one, dude. But, it's not supposed to be a serious movie, so I don't even know why people critique movies like this. I find that kind of confusing. I'm way behind on schedule. I'm supposed to be watching Outer Banks by now, but we still have another video, so I'll probably just watch that until lunchtime, go get lunch, do some homework, probably finish up Outer Banks, and just get as much homework done as I can before I hit the gym. I'm going to have to make a Walmart run, dude. I'm hungry as shit. March Madness is back on tonight. That's very exciting. Without further ado, I'm out, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Stay tuned for the Walking Dead video coming up soon.